Alright, so in the last video, the first video, we just introduced the idea of an English brain. What is it? And talked about the things that we're going to be doing in this course. Remember, an English brain, simply, what I call an English brain, is just your ability to think in English. And I want to, in this lesson, just talk about a few things that you should remember and a few basic tips for this course and after this course for all of your English studies. Okay? A few things to, we could say, keep in mind. A few things to keep in mind. So let's go over a few things. The first thing to remember is that you're going to have to work hard. If you want to be fluent, if you want to be a great English speaker, you've got to work hard. You may be asking for or wanting a very fast little trick to become an awesome English speaker. Well, this depends on the student. Some students can improve really quickly. But generally, I can tell you, if you want to be good at something, you have to practice it. This is obvious. So I hope you don't think that at the end of this course you're going to magically be a fluent English speaker. Of course not. Probably. Okay? Now, I hope you can take the things from this course and then practice the ideas from it again and again until you do become a fluent English speaker. That's the idea. So I just hope that you keep in your mind that practice is the thing that gets you to fluency, not just learning. Right? Learning is the first step. Ah, I see. That's how I should do it. Now I'm going to take that idea and do it many, many, many times. So learning something is often not enough. You have to learn it and apply it. Do it. Practice it many times. Practice will get you to where you're going, but you have to practice in the right way. Now, some students say, well, yeah, I know I should maybe learn to think in English when I'm speaking, but that's not the only way. I can also do it another way. I can learn by or through my own language. Right? I'll think in my language and then speak in English, and then I will become fluent. Both ways are okay. No, you will not meet, and you cannot meet a person who thinks in their language and at the same time speaks in another. It doesn't happen. If there's a perfect speaker of this language, or maybe they learned that language, when they're speaking that language perfectly, they're thinking in that language. And if they change and speak in another language, maybe their own language, then they're thinking in that language. The only way, there's only one road. There aren't two roads. Both are not okay. The only way is to learn to think in English. If you do not do it, you will not be a fluent English speaker. It's that simple. If you do not do it, if you do not learn to think in English, you will not be a fluent English speaker. I can promise you. I've asked a lot of successful students. I've talked to a lot of successful language learners. I've had a lot of experience teaching students. And the ones who succeed, the ones who do it well, are the ones who change their way of thinking and start thinking in English. It's the only way. So, both ways are not okay. Another really important thing to remember is that time does not equal success. You can spend a lot of time doing the wrong thing, doing things the wrong way. And one of the perfect examples of this is the way to study words. Now, we'll be talking about that very soon. In another lesson, we'll be talking about that. The time that you put in plus the methods that you use. Together, these things can make you successful. This is a way to improve English effectively. You can spend a lot of time learning words an incorrect way and not see much progress. I've met students in the past who studied for years, 2 years, studying every day, almost nothing, almost no progress. It happens. So, time is not the only thing. It's also about the way you do it. Time is important. You need time, but it's not the only thing. Now, you see 3 words here. Play, jump, swim. Why did I put these 3 words here? All right, well, it's simple. Don't think of English as this very, very hard thing, like science, where this is this, right? If you do this, you will get this. And this is the only way this can be. Don't think of it like this, because if you do that, you won't really challenge yourself to think creatively in English. So you have to be able to think creatively in English to be able to do well, to be able to improve. So play with the language. Play with it. Have fun with it. See if this and this works together, right? If you learn 2 things or you learn something new, try to see if you can make it work in this way, and then maybe ask, is this right? Ask someone who knows, is this the right way? Don't only follow what someone teaches you, right? Someone teaches you, this is right. Well, that might be right, but something else might also be right. So when you learn something, play with it. And by playing with it, you explore more about that thing you learn. And this is a really great way to understand more about the language, how it works, and what you can do with it. Also, I have the word jump here. Jump means not to have any reservations. That means don't be shy. Don't be shy. If you have the opportunity to speak in English, speak, try. You might think, oh, I'm not good enough, right? I don't know exactly how to say it. I don't know the right words to use. Just try. The ones who improve more quickly are the ones who just try. Okay, maybe you don't know the right word. Is there another way to say it? Can you describe it instead of saying the word? So jump into it. Be more enthusiastic. Be energetic. Use every opportunity or chance that you have to use and practice English. And by doing this, you will be around English more, and you will find out where your problems are. Ah, I tried this, it didn't work. They didn't understand that. So next time maybe I'll try this way. Ah, that worked. Okay, I got it. But if you never tried, if you just sat back and say, well, I'm not good enough, I don't know the right words, you'll never know this wasn't right. You'll never know this was weird, right? Being wrong sometimes, sounding strange sometimes, sounding incorrect or being incorrect sometimes, that's okay. That is okay. By making mistakes, by jumping in and making mistakes, you will actually improve. So, don't be afraid, don't be shy, just try. Don't be afraid, don't be shy, just try. Ah, it rhymes. Good. Swim. Swimming, basically, what I mean is immerse yourself. Immerse yourself means to surround yourself with the language. If you want to learn a language, how can you learn it just by looking at little pieces of the language, say English, from your own language? If you learn English through your language only, and you learn the meaning of that word with your language rather than that language, yeah, maybe, okay, you might learn something, but it won't be very deep, and you won't be able to really, really get a feeling for it, right? And it also might be a little bit slow, and it certainly won't help you to think in English, which is what this course is about. So, immerse yourself. Be around English as much as you can. The best way to do this is to go to an English-speaking country and live there, but not everybody can do that, right? So there are many ways to surround yourself with English, and I'm sure you know some of those. Movies, TV, radio, reading, right? Articles, literature, poetry, listening to a lot of different things. All of these are ways to immerse yourself, to swim in English, okay? don't be afraid to surround yourself with the language you're trying to learn. That's called immersion. And if you do it, you're more likely to improve more quickly, and you're more likely to be able to think in English, and you're more likely to be able to get a feeling for English. Okay? So, play, jump, swim. I have a 30-minute rule. For anything you want to learn, you can't just do it sometimes and not others. You need to do it regularly, right? Just like if you want to be strong, you want to build muscle. Well, you won't be able to build muscle if you go to the gym once every 2 weeks. You'll maybe build a little muscle and then lose the muscle. And then you go back to the gym 2 weeks later. You build a little muscle. You won't see much improvement. It's the same for English. So you need to make clear rules for yourself. I mentioned that you need to spend time, but I want to be a little more specific now. Every day you have to practice English. You have to keep English in your mind every day. And I have a limit about how much that should be. At least 30 minutes. Okay, so you have to spend at least 30 minutes, 7 days a week, for as long as it takes to become really good at English. Okay, it's not asking a lot. 24 hours in a day, 30 minutes is not that much. I think spending more than 30 minutes is better, of course, but no less than 30 minutes. Okay, at least challenge yourself 30 minutes a day. Make time. If you're serious about it, you will. Okay, so 30 minutes a day. And get into the habit of practicing or doing something with English 30 minutes a day. And you will see results. If you want to be good at something, it's often difficult to see what your own problems are. So you need some kind of feedback. Now, this is really the reason that teachers exist, right? Teachers exist mainly to give you feedback about what you do to help you improve, whether you're at the gym with your personal trainer or whether you're in a class with a teacher. So the teacher is there to guide you. This is one way to do it. You need some kind of feedback. So taking a class is good, okay? As long as you can get feedback so you can know what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, which direction you should be going. If you can't get a teacher, there are other ways to get some feedback. You might find a forum or a place where you can ask questions and get answers to your questions. Okay? Now, there are many different places where you can do this, but this is another idea. There are other ways. Maybe your friends are also learning English, and you can use them as a way to get some feedback about what you might be doing right, what you might be doing wrong. You could form a group and practice together and give each other feedback. This is a good way as well. It's not bad. So, in any case, it's important to have some kind of feedback, some way to find out how you're doing, right? Because you might be doing something really, really wrong, and then you make that wrong thing a bad habit, and then it will be really difficult to change that bad habit. So some kind of feedback is pretty important. Some way to ask questions, at least. Now, the first of these is, okay, most people can handle that idea. The second is a little more difficult for some. The first is to make English a part of your lifestyle. I had mentioned that you should spend 30 minutes a day, at least, doing something with English, doing some of the things that we'll be talking about in the rest of this course. So, make it a habit. That's making it part of your lifestyle, right? But another aspect of that lifestyle thing is that you don't really think about, all right, now it's time for me to study English. Now it's time for me to spend 30 minutes, which I hate, practicing English. So this isn't the best way of doing it. This I wouldn't consider really lifestyle. Lifestyle English means you just do it and it's part of your routine and you don't hate it. It's just something that's there. And actually, it's better if you can enjoy it. So the next part is to try to enjoy the process of learning English and trying to become more fluent. The students who are most successful usually are the ones who really, really enjoy learning English. They actually like learning English. If you like doing something, you're much more likely to be successful at it. If you hate doing something, it is less likely that you will be good at doing that. So try to find something about the language that you enjoy. Okay, you can still improve, you can still get better if you don't really like it, but it's certainly ideal if you can find something about it that you really like. That is the best situation. Okay, so try to enjoy it, make it part of your lifestyle. Okay, and that's really important. So, in the next lesson, we're going to be talking about how we can learn and practice by reading, the importance of reading, and how we can read in the right way to develop our English brain. So I will see you in the next lesson.